Have you ever noticed that you can be winning in business but quietly losing in life at the same time? One of my clients said to me once, he goes, "My business is going better than ever, but I don't feel happy." And that line stuck with me because that's exactly where so many men end up. They're fixing the business, but they're neglecting the man running it. And the biggest villain behind all of this, hustle culture. That belief that if you grind harder, push more, sacrifice more, everything will eventually be better. But here's the truth. If you don't slow down on purpose, you will slow down by force. Today, I want to unpack the real difference between business coaching and life coaching and why for most business owners, business coaching alone isn't enough anymore. And I wish I knew this years ago. If we haven't met, I'm Lachlan Stuart, the founder of the Man That Can Project, and I coach men to become strong in their body, calm in their mind, clear on purpose, and confident in their life. I've worked with over 1,200 men in groups and more than 150 men one-to-one, helping them rebuild from the inside out so that they can actually enjoy the life that they're working so hard to build. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm just getting into this YouTube thing. I had a previous channel, 1,200 followers, but I guess I've been on it for ages, and now I thought if I can make a channel that is coaching or just putting videos up to answer all the questions that I've had over the last decade, then hopefully you'll get some value too. And if you do, make sure you just click the link. If not, no dramas either. So back to it. I've seen it over and over again. Men with incredible businesses, and I mean incredible, but a marriage that is falling apart, or they've stopped training and they're waking up successful, but not fulfilled. And I guess that isn't even success. And I get it because I lived this. When I first started my business back in 2014, all of my energy went into it. That went into work, personal development. There was no balance, no space, no life outside of growth and hustle. And I remember this one time I was at a barbecue one day and I was hearing all the boys talk about the footy scores and what was happening. And I was realizing that I had no idea what they were talking about. I hadn't watched a game in over 2 years. I hadn't really been present with my mates. And really I wasn't present in anything outside of work. And the crazy part was that I thought I was fine. Stress had become my new normal. My mind was foggy. I couldn't slow down and I didn't even realize it. And that's what hustle culture does. It convinces men, good men like you, that discomfort means progress, even when that discomfort is actually dysfunction. Eventually, I realized something had to change. I didn't want my business to fall apart, and I don't think anyone does. But I was worried if I started prioritizing other areas, it would do exactly that. But a friend suggested that I see a life coach. And honestly, I didn't think I needed it, and I didn't really know what it was. My ego told me, I don't need help with life. I just want my life to improve. A bit contradictory. But what I learned changed everything. Working with a life coach helped me see that I didn't need to work longer hours. I just needed to work smarter. I didn't need more energy. I needed to direct my energy better. And that's what life coaching really does. It helps you integrate all of the parts of your life so that success in one area doesn't come at the expense of everything else. You can learn to integrate them because your business, your relationships, and your health can only grow as fast as you do. These days I have a rule. If my workday is my ideal workday is 8 hours and I'm constantly working more than that, I've got to ask myself, am I being inefficient? Am I overcommitting? Am I running from something? Or am I avoiding something inside myself? So now to grab your attention here, I've made a little whiteboard. How good is this? And when I say a whiteboard, I just mean my iPad. And I actually, not gonna lie to you guys, I've been trying to make these videos and do the overlays and all of that sort of stuff. And it's just driven me mad. I have had one of my team members, and she's incredible, trying to do it as well. And we've both just agreed that we're not at that point yet. Eventually we'll get to a point where we'll hire someone to do it if it adds more value. But for the time being, this iPad is going to do it. So if you're watching along on YouTube or if you're just listening on Spotify, just make sure you go to the blog on my website and you can read this here. But I'm going to hold this up and I'll actually insert this. So what we have here, on the left side, we have business, right? And on the right side, we have life coaching. So business coaching on the left, life coaching on the right. Now, what a business coach is designed to do is to help you optimize profit, systems, and leadership. Essentially, they're trying to help you grow your business. That starts with a business audit, okay? You got to understand where the business is currently at. Essentially, like what we do with our scorecards is to help you know where you're at in these areas so that you can know where you're doing well and what's holding you back. They then measure the ROI, so your return on investment in money. right? Generally, money is the main metric on how well you're doing things, and whether that's gross profit, net profit, all of those sorts of things. Then finally, they build team and culture. Now, these are all important things in business, obviously, but that helps you systemize that. Now, I want to show you with life coaching how this actually can be similar, because what I experienced for a long time, and one thing that I don't like about the industry, is it's very airy-fairy, right? There's no real, it's all about feelings, right? We want to feel better, but there are so many factors in our life that influence how we feel. Like, I could get a phone call right now saying, Lockie, you've just won the lotto. Not that I ever buy the lotto ticket. I could win that and I'd be like, whoa, how much did I win? Oh, 250K. Wow, how good. That's amazing. Automatically, I'm going to feel good. All the stresses that I had, gone. Equally, I could get the flip side call. I could get the call where someone that I care most about, in touch with this doesn't happen, has passed away. And I would feel terrible. This is where we need to understand that it can't just be how you feel. We're trying to give you some actual frameworks and some tangible things from a life coaching standpoint that are going to help you improve your quality of life. And that's what I've developed with my Become method, which is my signature coaching program, but we're not going to talk about that now. Let's just go back to this. But what a life coaching can do, if we're talking about business, it helps you optimize profit, systems, and leadership. Life coaching strengthens mindset, identity, and your relationships, right? Builds the self-awareness. Business coaching starts with a business audit. Life coaching starts with a life audit. So you can do one of our scorecards, which is going to be in the link in the bio. And I think the one that we've got up at the moment is the self-leadership scorecard. 20 questions, takes you less than 3 minutes, but it will show you for free where you're thriving and where you're drifting. And then it will also give you some little prompts that you can implement to start making some improvements. Then we go, measure your ROI for businesses in money, measure your ROI in energy, clarity, and peace. And how do we make those tangible? We got to work out what good levels of energy are for you, what a clear mind looks like. So strong in body, calm in mind, clear on purpose, confident in life. And we make that tangible for you. And then finally, builds habits and self-leadership. So you can see that there. If you're not watching, and you might want to watch, you're good to go. If not, it all makes good sense there. The truth for both of these is they both aim for freedom and fulfillment. Who doesn't want that? But they just start from different places. Business coaching improves your systems. Life coaching improves the system, which is you. Most men think they have business problems, but the reality is that you more likely have personal ones. We all do. They think that earning more money will make you feel worthy. You maybe feel like you're achieving more will fix that emptiness. They feel like pushing harder will remove the pressure. The pace of modern life demands more than skill. It demands awareness. We've got resilience and alignment, and the best people in the world know this. Bill Campbell, if you've heard of him, the $1 trillion coach. He mentored Steve Jobs, Larry Page, Eric Schmidt, and they credit him as a key force behind Apple and Google's success. Oprah Winfrey has also worked with her life coach Martha Beck for decades, and there was a Harvard research found that coaching significantly improves your performance, well-being, and goal achievement. Like, this is just screaming at me, get a coach. So if the top 1% on the planet are using a coach to stay aligned, why wouldn't we? Even I still work with coaches, because you don't always need to do more, you just need to become more. And right now, I'm paying a coach $25,000. And the reason why I want to share the pricing, and I'm going to share my pricing as well, because I think transparency is key. And whenever I'm looking for a coach, firstly, I'm thinking, what problem do I have? Because I go to a coach because I want to solve a problem. That's important to me. But then secondly, I'm looking at what's the investment and how much time do I get with the individual one-on-one. So here's some context. I'm paying Dent Accelerator, which is Daniel Priestley's company in his program, and it's phenomenal. I do not have a bad word to say about it, but I'm paying them $25,000. I don't get any one-on-one time with Daniel Priestley. So for those who work with me one-on-one, you get one-on-one time with me, and I'm paying $25,000 just to be a part of a group program. But what he's done well is he's identified the problem that I have. I understand and I believe in investing in myself so that I can overcome a problem so that I can continue growing forward. And that is a different mindset that maybe you have, maybe you don't. But I assume if you're watching this, you probably do. And if you've watched this far as well, you definitely do. So that means better habits, better self-talk, better decisions, better identity. And here is the question that changed my life. Well, actually, I wouldn't say it changed my life, but it was beneficial. Is it possible to achieve success without compromising the other parts of my life? Like, what I've discovered is yes, but not all at once. Sometimes you have to grow one area rapidly and another area takes maintenance mode. That is normal. But if you don't have the awareness to see what it's costing you, you'll achieve your career goals, for example, and then you'll wake up with no one to share it with, and that just sucks. Like, I can't imagine anyone's like, yeah, how good. But you have to have success and peace. You need a long-term vision and the courage to play the long game. I guess even the discipline to play the long game. For me, it started by getting my income to a level that gave me the time and the space and the ability to invest in myself, right? So every year I've chosen one skill or one domain or one standard to raise, like to raise the baseline, and that has changed my life. And inside the Man That Can project, this is exactly what we do. We rebuild men from the inside out because performance means nothing without peace. We follow a structured, measurable, transformational framework. And here is a little bit of an overview. But phase one, we audit and we bring awareness. We map out where you're at across the 7 domains of life. So we've got health, we've got mindset, relationships, finances, purpose, lifestyle, and personal growth. You see what's working, what's missing, and what's silently holding you back. We help you identify the blind spots. Phase two is implementation and integration. So once clarity is in place, we execute. We set personal goals, KPIs, so energy, hours worked, communication, recovery, relationships, the same way that a business coach sets business KPIs. The goal is very simple though. Strong in body, calm in mind, clear on purpose, confident in life. And that is unique to you. Every client's journey is different, but the pattern is always the same. They stop trying to fix a business and start upgrading the operator. I've seen business owners cut their hours from 60 hours a week to 45 hours a week, grow profit and rebuild connection at home. I've seen former athletes go from burnout to balance. I've seen men who hadn't taken a weekend off in years finally create space for what matters. And the biggest question I get, isn't this just therapy, Lockie? Well, therapy heals the past. Coaching designs your future and keeps you accountable to it. It's about new decisions, new behaviors, and a new identity, not constantly reliving the old stories. We track 2 to 3 KPIs every fortnight, no fluff, just outcomes. How much does it cost? Well, private coaching with me runs anywhere from 3 to 6 months on the program, depending on who it is, and ranges from $5,000 to $10,000 for one-on-one. Right? I'm upfront about that because I believe that transparency matters, and I want you to know exactly what you would be stepping into. And for context, as I mentioned, the program that I've invested in, the reason why coaching is incredible is because the people that you align with, and some of you may be listening to this and seeing things that I've done or the things that I talk about, and you go, I resonate with that. He's maybe a few steps ahead of where I want to be. Awesome. But many of you may not, and you're just watching this video because you wanted to know the difference. Go find a coach, if you want one, but I do believe we should all have them, that you resonate with, right? That you go, I feel like for me, I would have a beer with that person, but they can also help me get to where I want to get to. That is the most important part. Then you also need to think about, do I want to work in a group scenario or one-to-one? The reason why for me at this point, I'm happy to go in a group situation is I learn a lot from, I guess, what other business owners are doing and what I'm doing in this program. But I also know that I'm disciplined enough to be able to just have a few things on a page that they recommend we do, and I'll go and do it. But not everyone does that, so you need to think about where you're at and what's going to suit you best. But the real question as well isn't, can I afford this? The real question is, what will it cost me if nothing changes? We never think about that. If you want a place to start, take the free self-leadership scorecard in the show notes below. It's going to show you exactly where you're strong, right? How good, and where you're leaking energy. You'll get a few short emails after me, like they're automated, I'm not doing them, but they'll help you interpret your results and help you to apply tools straight away. And look, if you're ready to go a bit deeper, book a call with me, no pressure, Just an honest chat about how you want to live your life moving forward. Because at the end of the day, the real flex isn't profit. It's peaceful, it's purpose, it's pride in who you're becoming. And don't get me wrong, money's great. But remember this, you don't always need to do more. You need to become the man who does things differently. Strong in body, calm in mind, clear on purpose, confident in life. Hit the subscribe button, drop your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next week. And make sure you check out some of my other videos that can help answer other questions that you may have.